Hello everybody, it's Bets Golden. Today I'm with you with a fun project I want to do. I want to do some chalking, and I want to do this Buid-A-Cupcake transparency through Chalkator. I want to make a birthday banner. I found this banner at Michael's. I thought it was perfect, and I want to do a cupcake on each banner. Before I do that, I just want to show you a few things that I use and how I set up my area when I'm ready to chalk. Usually I will come out into the family room, my formal dining room area, because I have this table that I keep out at all times. It's about a 3-foot by 5-foot table. I keep this out at all times because when I do get-togethers at my house for holiday meals, I will set it up, and that way I can seat 10 instead of just 6. So I like to have it out, and when I chalk, I will always bring out with me, of course, my chalk. And in this situation, I'm going to be using a lot of these colors. I have all of the color, the chalk paste from Chalkology. So two of the ones I know that I'm using today are going to be mocha and the white for the base of my chalk, for the base of my cupcake, because I'm building the cupcake. I want to finish this one off. This is the white too. I always keep that off to the side so I can just reach and pull. Then the other thing that I always have out is a craft mat. This is actually not a craft mat. This is a baker's mat. I have a video in which I go over the different craft mats that you can use. I love this one. I will clean my transfers on this as well as with a paper towel and some water. I no longer take my transfers over to my sink, basically because that's a lot of legwork, and oftentimes I just want to wipe it and go. And I've discovered by cleaning it on a craft mat with sometimes a little bit of cleaner or water and a paper towel, that does the trick. I don't have to go and wash it like crazy or soak it in water. Then the other thing that I have out usually is one of these, just in case. Sometimes I like to, I don't know, sometimes it comes in handy. It's crazy. I wouldn't think it would, but it does. And then last but not least, I always have a platter full of my basic supplies that I need when I chalk, and that includes cotton swabs, paper towels, water, surface cleaner, scissors, the big squeegee, lots of these little ones. I recommend having at least 2 to 3 of these little ones, because you'll get to go in and you'll gummy up one, you'll rinse it off real quick, you'll need to set it aside to dry, and then you can gummy up another one. And then craft sticks and a permanent marker. So, and if you're using transfers that don't have to be fuzzed or cut, you can eliminate these 2 things. That's all this is for. So I keep this off to the side at within arm's length, so I can always grab and go. So the first thing I need to do, since this is a new transfer, is I need to mark the back and also cut it out. It's important that you mark your backing because you can get more than one use out of these transfers. You can get between 20 to 40 if you take really good care of it. So you want to be able to just place this on your backing once again to store it, because the transfer is super sticky. So what I like to do is I like to just mark my backing before I take it off. And so I just take this and just go all over it like so. All right, so now I know that that's the back. And then you just want to turn it over and cut it out. It's really important that you don't try to cut the images themselves out, because you will get a lot of mess on your chalkboard and have to do a lot of cleanup. You want to have all of this space so you can spread that ink out and not get it on your work surface. Otherwise, you will get a ton of wasted chalk and not a very good image if you cut the images out entirely. I'm only telling you that because I had someone over chalking this weekend and they opened up a new transfer and they did it this way, and then they said, oh, I need the scissors again, I have to cut the images out. And thank goodness they were here, and I told them, I said, no, you don't want to cut the images out, because if you cut the images out, you lose this wonderful netting, this textile, and you'll end up really having a hard time chalking your image. This allows you to be messy. So that's why you don't want to cut your images out. All right, I'm going to fast forward through this portion, and then we'll come back and fuzz, and then we'll get started. Just a heads up about the packaging. If you end up getting this banner from Michaels, you'll notice that there is some twine that is wrapped around the top. This is not for decorative purposes. This is actually twine that I believe you will be able to run your banner through when you're done. I almost cut it because I thought that this is what was holding the banner onto this. So just to give you a heads up so you don't make the mistake that I almost made. I'm going to set this aside. I'm super happy that it came like this and not on the panels itself already strung, because that would be very tricky to have to chalk. I mean, I would have made it work, but this is so much easier. All right, so the first thing that I need to do is fuzz my image. Basically what that means is you only have to do this once, the first time that you use it. You usually don't have to fuzz it again. And you just take the image, stick it to your clothes or a towel. I like to do my clothes because a towel is something else that I'll have to remember to grab as I chalk. And the less stuff I have out, the better. You just want to get some lint on the image. Then from here, I'm going to go ahead and chalk 5 of these images in white and 5 of the images in the mocha. I want 5 to look vanilla and 5 to look chocolate. I'm going to put it a little bit towards the bottom of the banner just because I'm going to be throwing on some frosting and maybe a goodie later, so I need to make sure that I have this more towards the bottom of the banner than anywhere else. All right, I like to take my large squeegee and just squeegee this on. Well, and we are going to build our cupcakes from here. It's important that you don't have any bubbles, so I do have a bubble on the bottom right there. I'm going to work that out. Since this is a base, it will be a little bit more forgiving than if it were the one of the pieces that's going to really show through. All right, hopefully I can use up my white paste. I also have white ink, however, I don't like to keep that in the same container that I keep my paste, because I don't want to get them confused. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up the first 5 in vanilla and the white and set it aside. And then I'll do the next 5 in the mocha. So I'm going to speed this up. So I cleaned it down with the surface cleaner, and then I just rinsed it with that water, just a couple of mists of the water. And this is getting sticky already. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry on its back with the sticky side up for a few. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to take every other one of these banners and I'm going to start to do my frosting tops first, because these are so cute. I want the edgings to shine through. So I want to take and do my frosting tops first. And then I'll go back through and do my bottoms. So for my frosting tops, I want to use pink. I want to use chocolate. I think I'll use some mint. Okay, so if I string this last one up, this is almost done, and it will hang in my kitchen breakfast nook area for birthdays. I decided to only add a little bit of sprinkles to the few of them and cherries on the other ones, but it's pretty cute. So anyway, if you have any questions on how to create something like this, or chalk couture, please feel free to leave them in my comment section below. You can also find me on Facebook. A lot of times I go live there and I show you how to do the chalking on Facebook. I do a live demonstration that's unedited. That's Bet's Golden, and also my page, which is Scrappy Cafe. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Feel free to share this if you would like to. One more thing. If you use chalk on this and you want it to be permanent and that it won't erase, and this is pretty hard to come off. Like, I'm scraping that, but it doesn't just, you know, rub off. This will seal it. So you can go ahead and purchase some of this at your hardware store, spray it over, and this will seal it, and you won't have to worry about ever losing your image. Personally, I like to lose the images and start all over again sometimes. Until next time, happy crafting.